EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Allen off the play fake. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
And they want to get him going early in this one because, remember, he struggled throwing the football last week, and he's firing away to start this one. But that one was incomplete.
2nd and 10. To the air. Allen. Quick slant to Shakir. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession. The Bills send the punter out. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test the secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. Pushes him over. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Another first down, this time on a gain of 19. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. He'll get this to Flowers, left side. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the 2 of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And that will be incomplete. The Buffalo defense does its job, and it's 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And this one is right through. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So here come the Bills out for their second drive.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Try to get that pass to Khalil Shakir.
And that'll bring up second down.
You look at this Baltimore defense.
They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
We know it's only week one, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this done.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up.
Allen.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll take it at the 42. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start first and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 9 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown as well.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
No, we changed it.
They go play action now. Jackson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now it's Jackson.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First down. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed, because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing is Jackson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
That's Matt Milano firing in from its linebacker position.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Jackson now. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are able to stretch out their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Buffalo set to get the football back here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Looking to put a drive together. Play action. Now it's Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Coleman. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. On play action, Allen. The throw out wide going to be incomplete. Now we've got a timeout for an injured player, and this is certainly notable. That's Josh Allen, who's in some pain out there. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Bass. His first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. First down carry for Henry. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. When you look at this defense, they are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Here's Jackson to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Hands up. Sit hard. 180. 180. Hands up. Report.
Henry up the middle. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Ravens had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these 2 probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, Hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
Inside handoff, Henry. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
14 more yards. That's another Baltimore first down.
Henry will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. So he had a nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away. Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football. Because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And Walker has it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Sit hot, Sit hot! 180! Sit hot!
They run wide side with Henry. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry with
career touchdown number 158. That pushes him past Randy Moss and into 4th place all time.
And the Ravens continue to pull away here in this first half.
Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. To throw, it's Allen.
Open man is Palmer.
Complete to Josh Palmer. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 8.
The Bills on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. So the shotgun snap to Allen.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or 2 short. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. And it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
At the 35-yard line.
Here's Jackson. Finding Walker complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens have opened the lead up to 30. Extra point splits the uprights. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender.
So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Here's 3rd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
Here's Allen. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Ravens offense and Derrick Henry set to take over once more. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Jackson. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Flowers. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
But he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Play action. It's Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Walker. The end result, 21 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point right down the middle. And the rout is on here in this first half.
Bills nothing.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. The Bills going to take over now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. On play action, Allen. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Coleman. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
15 yards. That's another.
Here's Allen to throw it. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe
Possibly. They're still thinking about the first one, and they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
2nd and 7.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hanson for our halftime report. Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've got the lead here as they begin this drive, trying to get that bad taste out of their mouth from the loss last week to the L.A. Chargers.
Second half begins with a run by Henry. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Henry again on second down.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up.
And the Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
First down, here's Mitchell. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. Oh, boy, Derrick Henry shaken up after that last play and in some discomfort down there. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From midfield now, here's Jackson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 28.
That's good for a Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Back to the ground here, Mitchell.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Now it's Jackson. Now he's going to step up and run. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, And that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
180.
Jackson. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
180. Sit hard. Sit hard.
3rd and goal. Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Throwing now is Allen. Coleman has it here right side. So 8 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 4.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now Allen. That is caught. And he is going to have the Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for a Bills first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Go.
Allen going to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Allen.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And again, it's Allen. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And you can tell just by looking at it that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf, dude. That's bottom shelf material.
90 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Play action. Now Jackson. Wide open receiver, complete. And all the way in for the Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 71 yards. And the Ravens are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away. Jones now on the return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them in the turnovers, they've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Now 2nd and 9.
Allen now looks to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one way out just shy of the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Again, they'll throw with Allen.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the third time. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
But my goodness, CD, I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Hands up. Sit hot.
Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's taken down inside the 30. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Throwing is Jackson. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The numbers throwing the ball have been great. He's up over 300 yards now for the game.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. And Walker has it. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Jackson will throw again. This is caught. Touchdown. Mark Andrews from 3 yards out. And the Ravens continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Bills nothing. Tyler Luke to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
To throw, it's Allen. And his throw here is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Bills on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To the air, Allen. Shakir hauls it in. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these. There he goes, left side. And somewhat a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. But I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the 1st half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the 2nd half, that got done.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Jackson going to keep it.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And he'll be taken down, although there is a flag down. Will this stand? So they'll decline the penalty there and go ahead and keep the yards lost on that last play.
Now a give running right. It's Cook. Fights out the defender. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd down and 6 now.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll push his way through.
And he's going to have a Bills 1st down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line.
On play action, Allen. Man open, here is Jones. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 37. That one goes for 24 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was saved. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for Baltimore, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Fall back, yeah, get back, doo-doo-doo. Fall back, yeah, get back, doo-doo-doo. Fall back, yeah, get back, doo-doo-doo. Fall back, yeah, get back. Fall like yellow on leaves. Ball like an all-white shirt, no sleeves. Tell her, put it